Missouri City's successful fiscal, civic, business, and public safety initiatives make the Show Me City one of the state's and the nation's premier municipalities. Thriving companies, dynamic diversity, pristine parks, scenic neighborhoods, top-rated schools, and elegant amenities are hallmarks of the city. In addition, City Council continues to provide strong leadership for citizens and our award-winning staff, and is committed to the area's continued growth and development. Opportunities abound for businesses, families, recreation, entertainment, and the arts. There are opportunities that are made in Missouri City.
Show me delicious cakes and cookies made for national distribution, and I'll show you Twin Star Bakery right here in Missouri City. We currently have 110 people and hope to grow it in the next couple of years to 300. We bake and fully finished cakes, cookies, and other types of desserts. There's not another facility like this in the country. Then here we are right here in Missouri City making products that ultimately end up in the national distribution chain that we can claim as nut-free. We want to make sure that our cookies that were coming out were, I said, worry-free for parents. That if you've got a child with an allergy to nuts, any type of nut, we could make sure that we were providing the food safe.
Show me where the best and the greatest technology in rod pump control automation is in the oil and gas industry. It's right here in Missouri City at Lefkin Automation. Our business has continued to grow by probably 15–20% per year, so we have grown significantly just in the last 2 years here in Missouri City. We don't plan to be in business just for a year or two. We plan to be around for a very long time. So by acquiring the land and building this 40,000 square foot facility, it also allowed us to double our size anytime we want to, so it gives us some great advantages. Plus, on top of that, it keeps us close to where the people that are working for us live already. Now, since moving here, I will tell you that we probably have grown our staff by 30%, and we've had people that actually have built homes here in Missouri City and have moved to the area.
We do have exciting plans to start bottling by the end of March, the 1st of April. We will be definitely in H-E-B come May. So we have 4 of our flagship beers, and we'll be adding many more seasonal beers and different beers. I wanted to show you around the brew house. This is where it all begins. We have the malts and the barleys that it all starts, take it to the farmhouse, and then it goes to the brew house, and then it ends up in this great glass of backyard blonde. So everybody, why don't you grab a glass of backyard blonde, and we're going to cheers Missouri City. Cheers to you, Missouri City.
In 2013, we will begin to build a 250,000 square foot facility on the extra 30 acres that we have. That will approximately create 250 more jobs to begin with. And then we can think about expanding that facility even more with more product lines after we actually build it. When we decided to move our company to Missouri City, it was originally done because of the economic incentives. However, when we started to deal more with the city and with the officials and building our facilities and the building process and permitting, we discovered something that we did not expect. And that is the people of Missouri City. They're very supportive. The city has come around and been a friend and a partner in all of our business ventures here, and I greatly appreciate that. And the Allied Group greatly appreciates that. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people of Missouri City. Show me one of the largest distributors and manufacturers of fittings, flanges, pipe, and valves, and I'll show you the Allied Group right here in Missouri City.
Show me a place that's got enough lettuce and tomatoes to make a salad big enough to fill a swimming pool, that also has enough ham to make 300,000 ham sandwiches. Show me a building that's the largest one in Missouri City that's at 5 degrees below zero. I'll show you Benny Keith Foods right here in Missouri City. The warehouse itself is right at 475,000 square feet. And we do have plans in the future for it to be expanded out to as many as 1.1 million square feet. We felt like Fort Bend County, Missouri City was a great place to have a good pool of employees. We've got a lot of employees that do live in Missouri City. It's kind of an inside joke that we have people say, are you going to carpool from the compound? It's not only the biggest building in Missouri City, but we'll be the largest employer in Missouri City as well.
Show me high technology battery solutions that are revolutionizing the oil and gas production, built right here in Missouri City at Southwest Electronic Energy. We have very important new batteries that power the directional drilling and the horizontal drilling that you hear so much about in the shales of South Texas, those solutions. This particular battery has to survive conditions up to 2 times the temperature of boiling water.
Show me the most diverse grouping of fitness equipment in a 2,200 square foot fitness center, along with group classes from aerobics to Zumba, and I'll show you Missouri City's Recreation and Tennis Center.
Show me 36 holes of great championship golf, practice facilities, golf lessons, and all of your golf accessories needs. It's all fun right here in Missouri City at the Quail Valley Golf Course. We've got a full practice facility here with a driving range, chipping areas, pitching areas, and Richard Brown, our Director of Instruction, he teaches lessons from beginners to professionals, group lessons. This year we're expecting to do nearly 60,000 rounds of golf between the 2 golf courses, which is really great. Strongest for us are our golf tournament rounds, which have been really popular lately.
We can accommodate corporate events very easily here at the City Center at Quail Valley. Because of our 3 different sized rooms, even including our patio, we have done large trade shows, we can do seminars or corporate fundraisers as well.
One of the things that's specific to the Missouri City campus is our Small Business Certificate program. And this program is made for entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, and also small business owners, and really just any student who's interested in owning a small business. It's designed for those who are just wishing to get their small business off the ground and help them get started. Show me where I can get an education and real job training. It's here at HCC Southwest Missouri City campus.
In Missouri City Ballet, we have anywhere from 20 to 25. It fluctuates, but those are kind of like my core kids. They're the ones who are the most dedicated, and Missouri City Ballet is a huge life sacrifice. I'm very proud of them. It comes full circle for me, coming here to teach in Missouri City, because this is where I came to from California. I was able to live here right in Quail Valley, and go and train at Houston Ballet, and eventually, of course, get in the company. So I feel like this is just a big circle that I've completed. Show me the best ballet company in Fort Bend County, and I'll show you Missouri City Ballet.
From the moment you walk in, there's a smile at the box office. You know, everybody here is very helpful and welcoming. You can sit at the bar and have a drink before you go to the movie theater. You can have a bite to eat before you go in. When you come here to Star Cinema Grill, you can go directly into your theater. In front of you, you'll find a table. We provide menus, we provide order cards on that side of the table. The screens that we put in here that we installed, and with the sound, it's second to none. I mean, they really are the best out there. So you really can't get a better picture or sound than you'll find here at Star Cinema. Show me a 4K digital 9-screen movie theater with first-run movies and a full menu served right at your seat. And we'll show you Star Cinema Grill, located here in Missouri City.
All right, very good. I could probably just sit down after that, not say anything, but I think I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 years that eventually we were going to have the State of the City address in the city of which we were talking about. So we're finally home. But you know, this year's State of the City marks a significant milestone for our entire community, and you're in it. We're honored that we could host this luncheon here, and telling our friends earlier that we probably should have built it larger. But not every event's as big as what this one is. But since we opened our doors in November, we've been very pleased to have our weddings, birthday parties, quinceaneras, we've had graduation parties, we've had memorial parties, we've had every kind of event that you can imagine in this facility. Civic and city collaboration continue to make the Show Me City one of America's best places to raise their family. And Rice University recently voted Missouri City as one of the most diverse cities in the region. So diversity has become a very important part of our community as you look around this room. The city's strategic proximity in the region and the state, a highly educated workforce, and a dramatically diverse population consistently attract new businesses and have contributed to the double-digit increase in commercial growth over the past 5 years. Now that's important because, you know, in any city, Jimmy and Charlie and Vince and all those, you know, the key of a city is to lower property taxes by increasing other parts of revenue. Well, you do that through sales tax, and you do it through, you know, your diversification of your commercial business. So seeing us lower the burden on the homeowner and by replacing that with business growth is what we're about, and that's what we've been successful, I think, in doing by having a double-digit growth in the last 5 years in that area. You know, development is really taking place citywide. It's not just in the 2 parks that we've talked about. It's all over the place. But I know that we talked earlier about Niagara Water, but it is the nation's 2nd largest bottling firm, and they now have started production in their new plant, their 350,000 square foot plant, and will soon install a 2nd line with a 3rd to be added, hopefully in the start of 2014. Warren Alloy, which you saw, just showcased in the video. They're a major supplier of stainless steel pipe, fittings, and flanges, and they're operating in their 156,000 square foot building. And in 2014, they also, their parent company, Allied Fitting, plans to construct another 250,000 square foot distribution facility at Lakeview. Southwest Electronics, that you see there, just highlighted, they currently design and manufacture top quality lithium-ion battery packs, and it's a 62,500 square foot building. Then we go to Lakeview Business Park, which is over off of Buffalo Run. There's the park. Bimbo Bakeries, which is the owner of Ms. Baird's Bread and other bakery brands, is planning a 20,000 square foot distribution facility, and they will distribute bread products throughout the Houston area. CNC Manufacturing will start construction of its 72,000 square foot highly automated computerized machine shop late in the 2nd quarter of this year and plans to occupy the space in the 1st quarter of 2014. And the staff right now, and let me just say this, let me just back up a minute. You know, none of this stuff could take place without the cooperation of a lot of different entities. The county, the water district, the city council, the people that are building there, all of those, the school district, all of those people play an important part in attracting those businesses here and making those incentives available to them. And right now the staff's working with a food manufacturer for purchasing 20 acres over there and another 150,000 square foot facility. We talked about Benny Keith, and you saw the picture of that huge facility that we're so proud of, that Benny Keith has built here. And Robbie, we laugh about this, but those trucks do say Missouri City, Texas on the bottom of those trucks, so thank you. You know, a 400,000 square foot facility over there, and This is the company's Gulf Coast Regional Distribution Center of all the hot and cold foods that they prepare for many of the restaurants that you eat in today, the fast food restaurants and all those. They have 250 employees today, and as the video said, they intend to grow that as the company grows to an even larger. They are and will be the city's largest single employer. Twin Star Bakery, which was also showcased, they're cooking up all their sweet treats over there, and as it said in that, it's kind of unique. It's 2 stories. But, you know, I guess with the concern today of allergies for, you know, people that are allergic to nuts, they have to prepare a product, and that product has to be prepared in an environment that has no possibility of them exposing someone to any of the nut allergies that are there. Stream Realty, they originally built 2 of the buildings that are over there, and they leased them to the ladies' favorite place called Charmin Charlie's. And Professional Packaging. Professional Packaging is a company that when you buy trays of Frito-Lay products in the stores and such, Frito-Lay does not package those. It's done at that facility there. They package them in those trays and things. And Stream has built 2 more buildings over there, and are in the process of leasing 115,000 square foot space to Frank's Supply, which is an automobile parts place, and then another facility that American Tire Distributors is leased in that facility. We showed a little bit earlier our Fort Bend Brewery. It's in that Gessner Road corridor, and we're excited to have our first brewery here. And they are now in the grocery stores around town. They're in restaurants around town, so ask for it. You also can visit the brewery. They have tours on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of each month, so go over and take a tour of it. Then we've got some new speculative buildings that are being built over there. Stream Realty has also purchased another 15 acres, and they built 2 initial 4 buildings on South Gessner and plan to build 2 more, totaling over 200,000 square feet. Bearden Development, which built the office warehouse building on the Stafford Road, which a number of the businesses are in today on Pike. They've announced that they're going to build 2 more warehouses of about 25,000 square foot each. One of our biggest partners in these developments was Trammell Crow, especially at Lakeview. And they're planning to construct 2 new warehouses, one around 95,000 square feet and the other is 150,000 square feet. We move from that area and we'll get over on Highway 6. And we've got companies that are doing business over there. We opened our 2nd Walmart down on Fort Bend Parkway. We opened the police officer's favorite place, Dunkin' Donut. And then Raising Cane. We've got our new Raising Cane here, and I know there's another one down in Sugar Land, but we've got one here, and we also are getting ready to hopefully open our 2nd hotel in the Hampton Inn that's supposedly going to open later this year. You know, and to create an ongoing dialogue with the business community, the city has launched a leadership luncheon program. It was a breakfast program, but we determined that people probably had more time during lunch to make a meeting than they did early in the morning, so we've moved that to lunch. The meetings are held the 2nd Thursday of each month, and we would welcome any of you to join us for those. We bring in different people from the different perspective areas of the city, economic development, businesses and such to talk about it. And in June, on June 13th, we're going to take a tour of the Port of Houston. And then on the 18th, we're going to have our partner Houston Community College here, a presentation on that entrepreneurship program that was shown. And then on August 15th, we'll have Superintendent Dupree here to talk about what's happening and what he's done in his first 3 months on the job and the challenges he took on, right, Charles? You know, I talk about all this, but the most important thing that I think all of this means to the city of Missouri City is that all of this stuff we've talked about is over $500 million worth of new businesses to the city. But more important than that, it's over 1,500 new jobs. And yeah, it is. And companies like Benny Keith and Niagara have had, you know, they've had employment seminars and workshops where they have hired local people to go to work in those plants. So, you know, those people buy homes here, they shop here, they go to the restaurants here. Hopefully, as many of those businesses get open and running over there in that Gessner corridor and the Lakeview corridor, that we start seeing some major restaurants want to be there, some major retailers want to be there, because we now have a workforce, a daily workforce, that will actually use those facilities. When we go out and talk to major restaurants about coming into the city, they want to know what our daily workforce is. They want to know what that noon workforce is. They can't make money at night. They've got to have money. I mean, they've got to have people all day long. So with a workforce of some 1,500 people, we can now go to those major restaurants and we can talk about, you need to be in Missouri City because we've got 1,500 people that are going somewhere else to eat. So that's what's important, I think, to us in the long term. Another major incentive that may be of interest to many of you in this room launched this year in the formation of our Bond Exploratory Committee. This is work for all these engineering firms and all these other people that are out here. We're going to have a significant bond issue next year on the ballot for needed improvements throughout the city. This group that we formed is made up of residents from all over the community who give us an input and a perspective that we may not see. This is the citizens telling us what's important to them and what they want done with their tax money. The city has $27 million worth of authorized bond money from previous bond elections to be used towards streets and drainage projects citywide that we're going to start fairly soon and do that first. The bond election under consideration will build on those previously issued referendums and provide projects that will benefit the city over the next decade. One of the people that I want to single out today that we have been very fortunate to have over the past few years that helped us put many of this stuff together is our Economic Development Coordinator, Bob Graff. Where's Bob? Stand up, Bob. And the reason I want him to stand up is that he's fixing to retire. And we're going to lose Bob. And I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to say thank you, Bob, for working with half of the people in this room to make city grow what it is, to work with the EDC, to work with the county, to work with the school district, to work with the water districts, because it's your leadership that directed us and guided us for all that growth, and we want to say thank you. Public safety programs managed by our highly skilled and dedicated police and fire department protect, educate, and engage citizens, helping to keep crime low and to maintain scenic neighborhoods. Last week, we joined our firefighters in construction groundbreaking ceremony for our newest fire station, number 5 in Siena, which is set to open later this year. And tonight at 7 o'clock, I would invite you to come to the public safety building down at Cartwright in 1092 for our fallen heroes and officers memorial that we're going to hold there, that we hold every year at 7 o'clock, to honor not only those fallen heroes that are in other parts of this country, but I've said before, we're very fortunate that we have never lost an officer or a firefighter in the line of duty in this city since it was organized, and I hope we never do. Yeah. We talk about strong physical management, and we have a staff that makes sure that we're there. We've earned a AA rating for our general obligation bonds and certificate of obligations. We have a sound budget policy and a procedure. We do have a positive budget, don't we, Mr. White? And we always will. Having our city budget and comprehensive annual financial report recognized for more than 25 years by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada for their detail on city services and programs in the city's financial condition. This year we also earned the Gold Star Award for Financial Transparency and Online Reporting from the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts, and this was our second consecutive year to earn that award. We have a commitment to private-public partnership. It was recognized in the 2013 Economic Development Award that we received from the Texas Economic Development Council. We won the distinction of our successful bid to attract Niagara Water, Niagara Bottling Company, and partnered with the Greater Houston Partnership, Fort Bend EDC, Fort Bend County, CenterPoint Energy Economic Development Group, and the WCNID number 2 to secure this deal and this prestigious award that we were given this year. We also partnered with over 40 government and private sector groups to bring our largest capital improvement project ever to fruition, a $50 million regional wastewater or freshwater treatment plant that will serve our citizens for the future. If you don't think that water is important, you have been reading the paper, because I think the legislature is only dealing with 3 major things: transportation, water, and education. Because we all know that after that drought last year, if we don't preserve our water and we don't make the plans ahead of time to preserve what's there, we won't have it. This program started 12 years ago. We made plans 12 years ago as a city to build this plant. And we finally have got it in place, and it holds 100 million gallons of water. And I kind of lightly mentioned the fact that there were 40 different partners in this. And I jokingly say that Missouri City is the mud capital of the world because we have so many muds per capita. But with those partnerships and those muds and the school districts and everybody else that were involved in it, the HOAs, the city, we were able to put this project together. And it actually also won an award this past year from the, I guess it's the RWTP, or our wastewater treatment plant, and we fondly call it, from the Texas Public Works Association for the project of the year for environmental projects, $25 million to $75 million. So we were even recognized from the state for what we did there. I know that many of you probably blame us for the esplanades on Highway 6. Well, we just help with it. You can call TxDOT if you don't like them. But that's only part of what was considered part of an implementation of a high-tech intelligent transportation system to help traffic move along one of the major corridors in this state, Highway 6. It's also one of the most dangerous. And I must say that in spite of the fact that you may not like esplanades, eliminating what is known as suicide lanes does save lives. It may be inconvenient to go down to the next intersection and U-turn and come back to where you're going. But in the long run, their purpose and our purpose is to save lives and to cut down on accidents. So, you know, bear with the inconvenience a little bit and think that you may have saved somebody's life down the road. Part of the medians was managed by TxDOT, as I said, and it included some new traffic signals, new turn lanes. It also included the 6 dynamic message boards that are on Highway 6 that we put up messages like don't text and drive, or we may have a major accident that tells you to avoid it. But also, you know, during a major evacuation, we'll be able to tell people about other routes that they may take. So there's more than one reason that those are there, and we did that through that. Installation of probably the most favorite thing I guess Public Works has ever done is that the blinking yellow flashing lights, the turn signals. Do y'all like those? Innovative, isn't it? But it does move traffic, and it took a little while for people to realize that yellow doesn't mean green, that there are cars still coming. Okay, don't turn in front of it, but you know, those flashing yellow lights won another award in 2012. You know, from the American Public Works Association, the Texas chapter, for the in-house project of the year. Scott, Sharon, good job. We also opened a new animal shelter this year. We're opening that we share with Stafford, and through their cooperation, we're able to take care of both cities there. We've expanded our Oyster Creek trails, if you've noticed, down off of Cartwright so that we can hook those up, Mayor Thompson, with yours over in your park and make it a long route for people to take not only through Missouri City but through Sugar Land and other areas. We've done a lot of sprucing up at City Hall. If you've been by City Hall lately, we've got a new decorative showcase monument over there with LED lighting, landscaping, and that's just a start on what we're intending to do at City Hall, because that's an important entrance to our city, and we want to make sure that we give it as much attention as we're giving other areas of the city. If you came in off of 1092, you crossed the El Dorado Bridge, which is now open. It had been closed for about 6 or 7 months, and we had to replace that bridge. It's open, and it's got beautiful landscaping down the side, and there's, you know, I know that people that live on that side were glad that we finished it. Next year, Lexington Boulevard is going to be extended. Plans call for decorative, you know, signal lights on Texas Parkway, a 4-lane boulevard roadway and sidewalks from Texas Parkway to Scanlon Road, as well as drainage structures. And again, one of our partners there, Commissioner Prestage, where are you? Commissioner Prestage, thank you for being our partner there, and the other county commissioners for helping approve that. But it's, and it's another one of those things that has a price tag to it, $3.3 million. It doesn't seem like something like that would have a big price tag, but it does. Mobility. Everybody is concerned about how do you get from work, home to work, and all that stuff. And our partnership with Metro, and we're the only city in Fort Bend County that is a member of Metro. And one of those partnerships has yielded us the Park and Ride facility. That's at the Kroger Center down on Highway 6, where they're also extending the Parkway. The Fort Bend Toll Road will go all the way to Sienna Plantation. That's under construction today. But the ridership from that parking lot to the medical center every day, which is basically one stop. They stop at the Fondren Road Park and Ride, but it's to the medical center and back every day for those people that work there. It's a tremendous asset for us to have that ability, and takes cars off the road. Dr. Wernerdy told me one time, and it was mentioned, that rail is a favorite thing of mine, and it is, and I'm still working on trying to get it down 90A. But when Dr. Wernerdy was president of the medical center, his one thing he always told us was, you know, I don't make money at $10 or $15 a day to park a car. I make money at $1,500 a day for a bed in a hospital. And he would tear every parking lot in the medical center down to replace it with a facility. That means we've got to take those cars off the road. There's about 55,000 people that work in the medical center every day. Some 30,000 of those are in a cone from 288 to probably I-10, but we're in the middle of that cone. So it's important for us that we get not only the rail, but we also provide an alternative transportation system for those people to get to work, and they're using it more and more every day. Although we've managed multiple projects over the past year, we'll never lose sight of our main priority. That's our citizens and our community partnerships. Those strong bonds continue to link our rich heritage and history and bridge to our bright future. In fact, our first-class amenity that we are sitting in today were built on citizens' input and the feedback from the citizens that passed a bond issue by the highest margin of favoritism that we've ever had for a bond issue. And think about that. You know, that the citizens of Missouri City thought it was important enough to buy a golf course. But they knew what it was to them as far as the long-term future of the city. And I tell people jokingly, but I mean it, this facility belongs to the citizens of Missouri City. It doesn't belong to us as council. It doesn't belong to the city as a staff. It belongs to the citizens of Missouri City, and I hope that they continue to use it just like they would their own home, because it is their home. You know, the facility opened actually, I guess, back in November when we actually had our first event in here. And it is, hopefully, going forward, and was this year, the Chamber of Commerce's home for its annual golf tournament. So if you didn't come, you need to come back. We want to do it here. But this is not the only facility. If you've not been in the city and you haven't driven 2 or 3 blocks over on Cypress Point, you'll see another facility that we built in our tennis and rec center on Cypress Point. It has a state-of-the-art. You saw some of the equipment. This is the part of the building itself, but here we've got batting cages. We've got a full-size basketball court. We've got all of our cardiovascular equipment over there, workout facilities, our rooms. We've got 13 tennis courts, a kids zone. We have over 800 members, citizens who are members of this facility today. We've got tennis programs, and we've got over 50 players in our junior tennis program. There are 28 leagues over there, totaling about 300 to 400 members. So it's another facility that was included in that bond issue, but one that opened a little before this one does, but it's an outstanding facility. We had some people that recently graduated from our first Citizens University, and I know that many of them are in here. If you graduated from the Citizens University, would you stand? Hey, there they are, right over there. This was an 8-session program that provided residents with an in-depth look at what city government was about. They elected a mayor one night, had city council members, there were city managers. I don't think Chris here? Chris got arrested. They had court. Yeah, y'all can kid Chris about that, but he got arrested the night they were doing the court stuff. I don't really know what he got arrested for. I don't want to go there, but he was. But we had 14 citizens who signed up and were in that inaugural class, and they just graduated last week. We even gave them a street sign with their name on it. I told them they couldn't put it up on the street. But more important than that, 2 of them, and this is the whole purpose of this program, was to educate them to become future leaders in our community. Told them they couldn't run for council or mayor, but they could volunteer for committees, and 2 of them did that night. 2 of them have already volunteered to serve on different committees, and that's what we hope to do with this program is as they learn what we deal with every day, hopefully they will want to continue. Some of them said they saw stuff they couldn't believe, but we see it all the time. But anyway, I want to salute those 2 members who volunteered, and Danny challenged them all that night. But only 2 of them took him up. But they may come back later, Danny. Yeah. It was a monetary challenge. I'm not going to tell them how much it was. We had Missouri City Day at the Capitol. I mentioned that earlier, that Russo's was there, and Coco Pazzo was there with the desserts, and we had a very outstanding group of people that went and visited with our delegation. We were recognized from the floor of the Senate and the floor of the House. We had a reception that afternoon that was attended by over 200 members of staff and elected officials there who came by. We gave every state rep and every state senator a little goodie bag so they knew who Missouri City was. Some of them probably didn't. Anyway, but it was a great day, and you can see that some of the people that came by, Kel Seliger is on there. Senator Seliger is from Amarillo, and Kel's wife is a Missouri City resident. And so he stopped by. He said, I couldn't stop by and let my mother-in-law and father-in-law know that I didn't stop by and say hello. So his wife and he were by, so good. All right, this next picture. Now that's the look I'm talking about. See, Joel is saying the Eagles would not, allow that to happen if you don't throw a strike. And I'm going, don't worry about it, Chief. I got this handled. And Jerry's looking at me going, I bet he does, too. Anyway, that was a great night at the Skeeters, and Kyle, you and Deacon made us feel great, and the most important thing about that was this was a cooperation between the Skeeters and the police department in a program that we call I Choose to Follow the Rules. And this is a program that Joel and his people have in our elementary schools in Missouri City where they go in and talk to the kids about things they shouldn't be involved in, Dr. Dupree, drugs, gangs, that sort of stuff. And if they stay in that program and they're successful at the end of the year, they get a T-shirt. Matter of fact, Niagara is helping us with the T-shirt. Skeeters hopefully help us with a game. But that night, those tickets that were sold by and residents of Missouri City attended, half of the proceeds went back to that program. And we raised over $1,200 that night for that program. So thanks to Skeeters. You know, we've talked about Missouri City being a great place to live and work. It's also a great place to play. You can take a stroll down our edible trail. We actually have trees over there that are growing things that you can eat, fruits and nuts and things like that. The program has really come a long way. Hike and bike trails along Oyster Creek Trails, which is 2.31 miles for people that want to get out and just enjoy nature. We've got the most competitive golf rates of anybody in the area. I think we mentioned earlier, in our past year, we hosted over 57,000 rounds of golf on our golf course. We had over 160 golf tournaments at this golf course, and those ranged anywhere from as small as 20 players up to 200 players. Avid Golf Magazine rated our courses as 2 of the best golf courses in the Houston area, and we were very proud of that. One of the things that we have in place also here at Quail Valley is we started the First Tee program, I guess about a year ago, and we're the third only First Tee affiliated program in the Houston area. Everybody knows about the one at Redstone, but ours is in place, and we've got young people. We've had about 75 kids go through this program already, and you know, people that are not familiar with First Tee think it's all about golf. Well, it's not. It teaches the 9 core values of life to kids, but it uses golf to keep their attention. And if you know anything about kids, you've got to have their attention before they learn. So it's a tremendous program. Later on this year, I hope that with Tyson's help and some others, we're going to put together a Mayor's Challenge golf tournament here where we raise the proceeds to go towards First Tee. We've got the facility here. We've got a dedicated part of the Quail Valley Golf Course that we bought years ago when we took the steps to move forward with that. We've got the property available. We've got to build a building worth about $1 million to accommodate that, to do what needs to be done. So we're going to be coming to the corporate community over these next few months, asking for our community partners to get involved with us in the First Tee program because it's so important to us, Charles, to keep our kids focused on something other than what they're doing after schools today. So it's a tremendous after-school program. You know, I can stand up here and talk the rest of the day about Missouri City and the great city that it is to live, and we're over 70,000 people today and another 25,000 in our ETJ, but you know, I've had the pleasure of serving this community for all those years that I have, and you know, I think Remus and I were talking one day, and he said, Mayor, why do you do it? And I said, well, I think God placed me here to serve other people. And I said, my wife questions the extent of serving other people sometimes. You know, there's a limit to it, but I do. I think God would place me here to serve, you know, my community and with His will and leadership and, you know, His strength, I intend to do that. So thank you all.